What is up, everybody? We got an episode for our 49ers follow content creators, man. We got an up and coming, man. We got the smoke coming in for the offseason, man. It's been a minute since I've had my own follow content creators in the building, man. But introduce yourself, man, for somebody who's not familiar with you.
Yeah, of course. My name's Tony Farmer at Tony's Market Tips on Twitter. I also just created about a week ago a Twitter account called Bosa Was Held. For anybody out there that's still bitter about how Nick Bosa was treated the last couple Super Bowls, if you want to check that out, it's got like 300 followers in the last week. It's growing pretty quickly. But anyways, yeah, man, I love creating 49ers content. Just created a YouTube page literally like a week ago that's got some of my old interviews with former 49ers like Randy Cross and Jesse Sapolo and stuff like that. So I plan on getting the YouTube channel up and cranking. But right now, most of my content is coming to you from Tony's Market Tips. Lifelong 49er fan. I grew up in the Northeast where most of my friends were like Giants or Patriots fans. And a couple people in my family somehow were Cowboy fans. But I was always a Niner fan my whole life.
Oh, for sure, man. So Tony Farmer, man, I've seen you coming around the scene, man. Seen you kind of getting your foot into the door, man. So that's good, man. You're starting from scratch. I mean, you were like a sports kind of betting content, right?
Yeah, I did a lot of sports betting content. I also have a podcast called Last Man Standing, and it focuses on the largest NFL survivor pool in the world. It's $1,000 entry, and last year the prize pool was a little over $18 million. So
Damn.
if you can make it all season long and go 20-0, because it's a separate week for Thanksgiving and Christmas, 20-0, you win millions of dollars. And that contest has really become a big part of my life. I'm obsessed about it. I talk about it. I got a podcast about it now. I'm starting a proxy company related to it. So yeah, love sports betting and love sports betting contests too.
Oh, for sure. But what made you kind of decide to do a little bit of 49ers content? Because I know subscribe to your new channel.
Yeah, man, it actually started a while back, years ago when I first started my Twitter account. And the idea wasn't to like make 49er content. The idea was to connect with other 49er fans. You know, that's kind of how it started. And when I went to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I took some videos from my phone of that game, which we all know did not end well. And even like the stuff leading up to that game, like, man, I got to sit a couple feet behind Jerry Rice on the streets of Las Vegas as he's watching highlights of himself. Like, what a cool moment that I happen to get on my camera. I'm like, I gotta have an outlet to get this stuff out there because I know other people like me will enjoy it. But I've always been very opinionated about the 49ers growing up as a kid, as an adult. So I just love talking about this shit.
Oh yeah, I know we all do, man. But Jerry Rice to me is like the Ric Flair of pro football. He's one of the greatest.
The GOAT, the GOAT. And I mean, I get fired up, man. CG, I get fired up when some people on Twitter or in person try to insinuate that he's not the greatest wide receiver of all time. That nothing pisses me off more. The Randy Moss arguments, and I've heard it, Antonio Brown arguments. Like, get out of here, get out of here. Jerry Rice is the greatest of all time, and it's not fucking close. That's how I feel.
I mean, his record speaks for itself. Even at his age, at the later part of his career, he still produced. Even when he was playing for the Raiders, as much as we hate to acknowledge it, he had some good numbers even when he was close to 40 years old.
Yeah, made the Pro Bowl at 40. I mean, he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I think he had to be over 40 at that point. Yeah. Jerry Rice is the greatest, but people want to make these arguments like, oh, Randy Moss was more athletic and all this stuff. Nobody has done what Jerry has done for the length of time that he did it, as consistently as he did it. It's not even close.
If we're talking consistent longevity, Rice did it for sure. But if you're talking gifted and all around specimen, yeah, Randy Moss did it at a very high level. But you got to separate the two when it comes to like a guy who outworked the rest of the people, which is Rice. He put the record book. Moss can go down as the most talented, gifted, athletic freak.
Sure.
For sure. But you put him in a different category where he was just gifted. But he wasn't a guy that when things were tough and he didn't seem to want to put the work in like Rice.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like that, to me, the fact that Jerry Rice wasn't the fastest, wasn't the tallest, like, you know, Calvin Johnson, wasn't the most dumb, but still did it and is still regarded as the greatest of all time. That makes Rice more impressive to me because that's him putting in that work. The hill, baby, running up that hill and, you know, taking his job as seriously as he is. By the way, I got a story real quick about the hill, if you don't mind.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So ex-girlfriend of mine used to live about 30 minutes from the hill. So my first time ever visiting her and her family and all that stuff, she's like, "Hey, you want to go run Jerry's Hill?" And at the time, I was in the best shape of my life. I was training for like half marathons and stuff. Not the case anymore. But at the time, the idea of running the hill and just compare, like, when do I get tired? Can I make it the whole way? Like, I was so excited to run this damn hill. So we get there and she's like, "All right, you go ahead and run up and I'll stay behind. And then when you get to the top of the hill, you come back and we'll meet in the middle." I'm like, "All right, dope, let's do it." So I start jogging. I'm doing my thing. About 5 minutes in, bro, a mountain lion runs across my path. And I'm like, I wasn't like it didn't see me. It just sprinted across my path like that. And it was so fast that I was like, did I just see that? And there was a guy coming toward me. He had a cowboy hat on. And I was just frozen still. I was like, what just happened? I was like, did you see that? He goes, pretty cool, huh? And I was like, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm good. I don't need to see Jerry's Hill. I'm done.
It had to be a challenge with him with no fear.
Man, oh man. It was scary. It was scary. It shook me up a little bit.
I mean, I don't think, no offense to Rice, I mean, no offense to Randy Moss or Calvin Johnson and all that gifted athlete, I don't think they would be running the hills. I don't think so.
Exactly, dude. Exactly, man. That took some serious devotion. We'll put it that way for sure.
Yeah.
But love Jerry Rice. I used to collect football cards too, so I got a collection of like hundreds of Jerry Rice cards. That was a big part of my life growing up too.
Rice was just something else. I mean, you could see I got my own collection of certain signings. Like even when I interviewed Julian Peterson, which is on the other side, and I had the Cedric Harbin, which was in 2002, and then
nice.
Derek Smith was one of the guys I interviewed years ago, and Julian Peterson the same way. I even had Randy Cross on my show a couple of occasions, and then he just signed me an autograph of his signature, and Dan Buns.
Nice. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Who's your favorite interview so far out of all the guys you've talked to, former Niners?
As far as former Niners?
Yeah.
Man, I have to say, as far as a storyteller or somebody who just entertained me the most, man, like Dan Buns had a good story, but he'd gone on for hours, bro. But he was just a great storyteller. Like he would tell you what happened way back in the day. But if you want entertainment, Randy Cross, hands down.
Yeah. He's good.
Oh,
he's
dude,
good.
He would just give you some good stories. But I think Dan Buns had a better understanding of what it was with what he went through. But he gave me some crazy stories that I didn't even know about.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Good stuff.
I'm sure if I had a chance to interview Fred Dean, it probably would have been an interesting story, or Cedric Harbin, because they had these impersonations about how they were as teammates, man.
Yeah. Those were I love hearing and reading about the glory days, the 80s and a little bit of the 90s too with the Niners. Seems like a special culture for sure.
I mean, if we're talking like a player who hasn't panned out, yeah, Mike Grump had some good stories too, even though he wasn't quite as good as everybody says. I mean, but he had good stories about Ed Reed and quite a few other players, man.
Hell yeah.
I mean, dude, I can go on with all the stories. Keith Lewis, man, he had some stories about like saying what he did to so-and-so. Dude, that could have been taken off my interview right there for what he said. He was straightforward. Wow.
Yeah, it's nice. That's a quality that some guys have and some don't, that are just more straightforward. Randy Cross is like that. He'll kind of tell you how it is. Some people are a little bit more guarded, and it's nice when you get those honest guys that I think Nick Bosa is like that in the 49ers locker room. Like
he's pretty chill.
He's chill, but he'll tell you how it is. Like he doesn't feel like he needs to like mask what he's saying. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that one guy who's an actor, but he was a football player for a short time. Matthew Willing had some good stories in the locker room too. That was like, he's another good one.
Nice.
Even though he wasn't quite a big deal, but man, he made himself a Hollywood career after that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah, but speaking of the Niners offseason, I mean, we can go on with about the memories about the players in the glory days. I know a lot of this generation fans that never seen the Niners win a Super Bowl, and we get to deal with our rival fans, and they keep saying, why you guys keep bringing up your 5 Super Bowls that's sold 30 damn years ago? You guys haven't done nothing. That's all they come up with, that narrative.
We hear a lot of that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what my response to Chiefs fans is? Tell me about last year, guys. You guys lost 8 of your last 9 games. You want to, okay, ours are too old. What have you done for me lately? You want to talk about recency? How did the Chiefs do last year? I love hitting them with that.
Yeah, but the thing that matters that even half our fan base is getting tired of Kyle, man. Like, what's your defend argument why he should still be our head coach? There's just too many
That's a good
negative
question, man.
energy.
I have mixed feelings about Kyle. So on one hand, I think that he is a very well above average head coach. I
Yeah,
think that he is a very well above average play caller. I think he connects with the players, and I do think he's a good leader. On the other hand, I think he's a terrible drafter. Now I know you can give John Lynch some responsibility there. I don't know if any of us really know who has more power in that room. There's speculation. I don't know that anybody knows for sure. Whoever is making the decisions with the 49ers drafts, I think needs a little bit of help. There has been some home runs. Fred
yeah,
Warner is a home run. Juwan Jennings is a home run. Brock Purdy's obviously a home run, but too many strikeouts. Too many times that they've traded up in the draft for a guy like Dante Pettis. The list goes on and on. I could give you 10 names of guys that they traded up for and shouldn't have. So my feelings toward Kyle are kind of complex. Like,
okay.
I wish that he was just the head coach, and then I'd love Kyle. But because of some of the decisions that have been made in the front office, mainly drafting, it makes it more complicated for me. And I'll say this about the head coaching side of Kyle too, that I don't like, because I've said a lot of nice stuff so far about him as a head coach. I think
Okay,
that his
let's
game
be a little bit
management,
critical about it. Yeah,
yeah, his game management, like when to call timeouts, and obviously the overtime coin toss situation, we'll put that in there as well in the Super Bowl. I think he's a below average game management head coach, a well above average play caller. So, like, I wish there was
fair.
someone in his ear, and maybe there is, and they're just not good at their job. I wish there was someone in his ear constantly that Kyle trusted saying, Kyle, call a timeout now. Don't call a timeout now. Like, he needs that guy in his ear if he's not already there, some sort of assistant, because that
Yeah,
is his biggest weakness, in my opinion, as a head coach. I see it. We've watched all the Niners games. I'm sure
yeah.
you have too.
Very
There's been
unpredictable
too
when it
many
comes.
times where I'm like, Kyle, that's not the right move. Everybody sitting on the couch knows that's not the right move. What are you doing? You know?
Yeah, he can be unpredictable when it comes to the clock management and game management, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
the one pet peeve that gets on my nerves about Kyle that I will admit is, dude, why do you not ever evaluate the offensive line position better, dude? Like,
Mm.
are we going to pretend Jake Brendel is still a damn good center when he's never been close to anything good? I mean, look at the other positions of offensive line. If we had a better offensive line, I think we would have won 2 Super Bowls by then.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Super Bowl that I was at. The 49ers lost that play in overtime. That was their backup right guard, Spencer Burford, who gave up that pressure to Chris Jones. He owned it. He said it was his fault. And you got to wonder if they had invested a little bit more in their offensive line, specifically with depth, if they had won that game. I think they would have. They're doing a little bit more of that this offseason. Like, we're seeing them bring in guys like Toth, for instance, or this recent signing, the dude from the Dolphins. Help me out.
Robert Jones.
Robert Jones, thank you. And then even Lowe from the Patriots, Vidarian Lowe. So it appears what the 49ers are doing is setting themselves up on the offensive line where there's going to be a lot of competition. There's going to be more depth that there has in the past. And if there's a guy available in the draft, they'll bring him in to start at one of these guard or center positions. And if there's not someone available in the draft that they like and they'd rather take a defensive end, a safety, a wide receiver, they're going to be like, okay, we can at least live with this offensive line. Let these guys fight it out in training camp. May the best man win and take the job. Competition makes everybody better, etc. It seems like that's their approach, where they're giving themselves some flexibility to take an offensive lineman or not.
I think possibly day 3 is where they get one. Like, it just seems like it because they probably rather just get the wide receiver or the defensive line or those spots in general, because those are the only 2 picks we're going to get in the early part, and then day 3 we have to wait unless we make a trade or get some extra picks. Then we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, and let's see. I'm going to pull up here the 49ers most recently drafted offensive lineman. And we can probably brainstorm together before I pull these up. So
Okay.
McGlinchey is probably
The
one of the
most
more
highest
obvious
one,
ones that come to mind. They got Aaron Banks in the second round in 2021.
which he's turned out In our system, he was solid, but now
Yeah,
with the
solid but
Packers,
not
not so
great,
much.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Burford in the 4th round. I'd say that was pretty close to a miss. Pooney in the 3rd round.
Was a
I have
pretty
mixed
hit.
feelings on Pooney, bro. I don't know about you, but his rookie year, I was very excited about this dude. I'm like, he's on
Yeah.
pace to be a perennial Pro Bowler.
But this year, I think it had to do with the injury. I think
I
he
think so
wasn't
too.
quite. Yeah,
I think
I
so
think
too.
he's still good.
Yeah, yeah. Like it wouldn't surprise me if we saw him back in his rookie year form, and suddenly we were saying this guy is, potentially a Pro Bowler again. And I'm kind of banking on that, man. I'm like hoping that's what happens. But I'm looking at these other offensive linemen that they've drafted. No superstars. We haven't mentioned any superstars yet.
None. Like
And
McKivitz was a 5th round, but that guy's been developed as a project for quite a while, and he's been our tackle for quite some time, which I give him credit for at least giving the guy a chance. But you draft Nick Sakal to eventually play center, and they don't see it working out. Now he's been
yep.
kind of like coming in and going with this team, so I
Yep.
don't know what they see in this guy.
Yeah. So it's like on one hand, I want the Niners to draft an offensive lineman early in the draft. I think that would be great because, as you said, they haven't prioritized this position. However, I don't have faith in them drafting a guy that's going to be a difference maker. So, and that gets into a bigger conversation too, right? About the Niners' inability to draft in the early rounds specifically. Like a lot of their hits are on the, 3rd round or later. Kittle later. Juwan Jennings later, Fred Warner later. They strike out a lot in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round. And I don't give the 49ers any credit for drafting Nick Bosa because that was a no-brainer decision. You
It was an
had to take
obvious
Nick
choice.
Bosa in that spot. So I'm not going to like, oh, but they got Nick Bosa. Any GM would have got Nick
They
Bosa
would have
there. You
took
know what
him
I'm saying?
instantly.
Yeah, yeah.
So you make a fair point because it would be obvious if they didn't draft both, that would have been a dumb move. I mean, you nailed it. Like in the early rounds, we've been missing more, but when it comes to the later rounds, we tend to find some guys. But like 3rd round is kind of rare. We tend to miss a lot. 2nd round, we just can't hit on those all the time. So it's like
Yeah.
you're kind of being as optimistic and realistic, and you're thinking, can we get this right this time? Or if you're gonna draft these guys, can you play them? Stop putting them in a doghouse. Like,
Yep.
what's the point of Isaac Garendo? Like, you draft this guy to be a difference maker as a speed back, but you're gonna put him on the bench all season. Then
And you
you got to
traded
go
up
to
for
games.
him. You traded up for Guarendo too. You
Yeah,
know,
I don't like that.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of debates with people on Twitter about what the Niners should do. Like, should they just take the best player available? Should they try to fill one of these holes? And I'm a best player available guy. I think that philosophy makes sense. However, when your Super Bowl window is shrinking, and I think you could make an argument that the Niners Super Bowl window is shrinking when you've got, let's assume Trent Williams is back, which I know is a big assumption. You got Trent for how many more years? 1 or 2 if you're lucky. You got Kittle. How many years is he going to be healthy? Even guys like Warner are starting to get up there in age a little bit. He'll still be good next year. He'll still be good the year after that. But when your veterans are aging and your Super Bowl window is arguably shrinking, I think that's when you should not care so much about best player available. And that's when hey, we got some needs at safety, offensive line, wide receiver. Let's do it,
They tried too much on those positions, and they've been missing on those. So getting best
True.
available would be where we need to go right now. So that would prevent future needs.
Yeah, like how do you feel about Sadiq? A lot of people are saying that. I came out on Twitter and I said I don't want Sadiq. Um, tight end is not. It would be nice, of course, it'd be nice to add a guy like that to your roster, but we have glaring holes.
There's different
Glaring
holes.
holes.
I mean,
I'd rather see them draft a safety or an offensive lineman than Sadiq, but I'm probably in the minority there.
well, Sadiq is just a specimen of athlete. He's a tight end that can block and do everything that fits into the offense. But is he quite a need or something in mind? Maybe best available, but is he going to even be a huge involvement into this offense? Because regardless of what happens, like if we get this guy, it's more of a head scratch because what are we going to do with this kid? How's he going to get on the
Yeah.
football field? He still has to catch on to speed with the offense. And then you got
Yep.
Jake Tongues, who's been ahead of the playbook, and God knows what's going to happen with Luke Farrell. We don't know how they feel about the tight end position, but if they get this guy, I'm hoping they find ways to utilize him or try to do a 13 personnel or something. Make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe Kyle revamps things. Maybe it's a little less Kyle Juszczyk and a little bit more two tight end sets. That might be the move if you draft someone like that. But again, I'd rather see him draft for need this year, personally. We might disagree on that. That's all right. But I just don't. Do you want him going into the season with Brendel at center and Jair Brown starting at safety?
I agree with you on that part. No, I'm not saying that like I kind of like technically agree with the Sadiq pick. I just think it's not quite the fit to get him right now.
Yeah.
Like he's best available. If he's best available, you might want to take him, but I don't think he's the option. You can probably get one in day 3. Maybe the kid from Stanford might still be out there.
Yeah. From what I'm hearing, he probably won't be available at 27 anyways. And if he was, maybe there's a team that's willing to trade up into their spot to get him if
he's moving up
on the board.
Yeah, he's definitely moving up boards because he can block, he runs solid routes. But if there's a guy that nobody's paying attention to that I feel like could be a day 3 pick that the Niners need to consider getting is I know in the past we had a bad track record with an Alabama tight end, but this kid, Josh Cuevas, all he does is makes catches, breaks tackles, blocks. I mean, if you saw a little bit of what he did at the Senior Bowl, he was very effective. So that would be the guy to look out for if we want to go tight end later.
I like that approach. I'm totally down with taking a tight end in the 4th round. We got how many 4th round picks? We got 3 or 4.
We got 4.
Yeah. So yeah, we want to use one of those picks on a tight end. I'm cool with that,
but early, nah.
Yeah.
Like I agree with you on that approach. What you're saying, I agree. You don't want to draft a tight end early, especially if he doesn't have much of an involvement. I think they rather develop a tight end maybe in the 4th round where they don't have to play him right away.
Yeah,
please no tight ends at 3rd. We've always, that's true. We don't even have a 3rd round this year.
Yeah, well, because we traded that in the Osa deal, right? Yeah,
we traded for Osa. Yeah, but I think we still might be able to look to trade for some more values. Maybe we'll get rid of certain players we don't have no use for.
Yeah. I love the Osa trade, by the way.
What?
Yeah, I love the Osa trade, by the way. Love it.
I think
love
that
him
was a good trade,
player.
but for some of our fans, they thought we might have overpriced. Why do you feel like that was a good trade?
A couple things. I think the most telling thing is listening to Cowboys fans hate the trade. They can't stand it. They're upset with the front office. We love this guy. I think he's going to come in and give Mykel Williams a little bit of flexibility, because Williams can play inside and outside on the defensive line. Whenever you're adding to the room, now you can move your pieces where you want them and put people in, best case scenarios for them. Also, like a great dude off the field. Everything that I'm hearing, like he seems like an Eric Armstead type off the field, where he's going to be like really involved in the community, be a great locker room presence as well, good leader. But yeah, man, I think that defensive line with him on one side, not on one side, in the middle, him in the middle, Nick Bosa on one side, maybe Joey Bosa on the other side. We'll see, or someone we draft. We'll see. With Mykel Williams and then guys like Alfred Collins that we're assuming can improve, I think that defensive line is going to be a real problem for offensive coordinators next year. It's getting exciting.
Yeah, it is. I'm kind of curious on what's going to happen. I know that the Joey Bosa topic is he's probably expecting a little bit more money, but I think he'll eventually cave in and take a reasonable contract.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that both of these guys, the Niners and the Bosa camp, his agent, etc., realize they could have had this situation last year. And I think there's probably some regret on both ends. Honestly, I'm speculating, but I think there's probably regret on both ends, and that's going to help them get there this year.
Yeah, maybe slowly when things start to slow down for Bosa, maybe he might consider, but there's other options. So you do possibly have Leonard Floyd, who's worked with Raheem Morris in the past. So maybe for the short term, you get him in because he can be a pass rush specialist for us, or you get Jadeveon Clowney on a cheaper deal, which he produced pretty well last year for the Cowboys, 8.5 sacks last year.
Yep. Yeah. I do think the price for Bosa goes up a little bit. He gets some leverage if the 49ers don't draft a defensive end. Yeah. He says, hey, you guys need me a little more now, don't you?
Yeah, if they can't find one, but I think that's where his price goes up, like you said, but they should try to maybe until they work out with Trent Williams' contract, maybe they'll slowly come into Bosa's service. But some of our fans say, let's just get Clowney. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, Clowney to me has been a guy who obviously he makes splash plays. He's been making splash plays since college. And I worry about his consistency though. Like that he seems to take plays off from time to time. Um, yeah, I don't love that about him.
Yeah, kind of like a little bit of the energy level where it gets hot for a second, then he gets cold where he doesn't show it consistently.
Yeah, like a Chase Young. Remember him with the Niners? He
Chase
actually had a
Young,
really good Super
yeah.
Bowl.
And then
He had a
Randy
great Super
Gregory.
Bowl when he's motivated. Yeah. When he's motivated, he can play really well and be very disruptive. And then there's stretches where you're like, hey, where's Chase Young at?
Yeah, it's like he just didn't even bother. But how do you feel about the wide receivers since we've addressed in free agency? I mean, it's got to be something we were lacking on going into the playoffs. If we had some receivers that could separate or get proven receiving production, this was probably
Yeah.
the perfect time to go in the offseason to get somebody.
Love the Mike Evans signing, probably even more than most 49er fans. I think that he's got a lot left in the tank. I just tweeted out earlier today reminding people that Baker Mayfield the second half of last year was terrible. Mike Evans had a bad quarterback for the second half of the season last year. Baker Mayfield started the season very well. He looked like a Pro Bowler. By the end of the year, maybe injuries, I don't know what. He was bad, and Mike Evans was playing with a terrible quarterback. Brock Purdy will be a major upgrade from what he had at least at the second half of last season. I think that Evans is actually going to open things up in the running game for the Niners because the safeties are going to have to kind of respect him as a double team threat. And I will say this, though. I am a bit of a Juwan Jennings apologist. Like, I love that dude. Juwan Jennings is one of my favorite 49er players. I get it. The price tag was high. Would I rather have Jennings for 20 million a year than Evans? No, I think I'd rather have Evans because of that double team that he commands. However, I am going to be a little sad to see Juwan Jennings go. I think that dude isn't appreciated enough, certainly by fans outside of San Francisco and then even by fans inside of San Francisco. Dude, playing with broken ribs,
And consistently
like
making contesting catches and just finishing plays, which
yes, so clutch, great in the red zone, third downs. Like he was our Super Bowl MVP. If they had won that game, he shows up. You know, like I think of someone like people were comparing him to Michael Crabtree on Twitter earlier this week. And I think the biggest difference between those two guys, there's a lot, but the biggest one is that Juwan Jennings shows up in the clutch. He doesn't shrink when the moment gets too large. Juwan Jennings is the definition of clutch. So I'm going to miss that dude. But to get back to your question, I would like to see some speed added to that wide receiver room. I think that's like the one glaring thing that they're missing right now. Now, you could argue Cowing. You could argue some of these guys further down on the roster could be that guy and could develop and could mature. But CG, at this point, I'm just assuming that they're not. And I'll be pleasantly surprised if one of those guys, Junior Bergen, if one of these guys turns out to be decent, but because of the 49ers track record with drafting wide receivers and them not developing, I'm going to assume none of those guys at the bottom of the roster are going to have any impact on the team this season.
probably the way they evaluate the talent. I'm hoping they do a better job this time.
Yeah, I think we'll agree on this. They need to nail this draft.
They do.
This feels like such an important draft for this team. You don't have a third round pick. You better hit on rounds 1 and 2, baby. You better hit on rounds 1 and 2.
All the fourth round picks.
Yep. This is very important draft for them. Crucial.
Yeah. So I know this is a make or break year for John Lynch if he wants to still stick around because he's entering a contract year where he's entering as a lame duck.
Yeah, I think it's a make or break year for him. And, besides the obvious performance on the field, how do the Niners do? Do they win the division? Do they make the playoffs? I'm curious how some of these recent draft picks are going to do this year. Because I think that goes a long way to shaping Lynch's legacy and how he's viewed. So let me give you some names of some guys. We already talked about Gorendo. How about a guy like Renardo Green? Showed some flashes last year, started for you. Is he going to take the next step? Or could Renardo Green regress like we saw someone else in the secondary, Jair Brown, kind of regressed for the Niners? A guy like Cowing, Tatum Bethune. That is a very loaded linebacker room. If people stay healthy, Tatum Bethune still make an impact on this team. Marquise Siegel. I think there's a path for that dude to improve big time and to be a star in this league because he's shown some flashes on tape. However, if you told me, Tony, I come to you from the future and Marquise Siegel just regressed and he's no good. That wouldn't surprise me either. Like they've got some guys who CJ West, Nick Martin. What's this dude's deal? Like they've got some guys that could go either way, CG. And I'm really intrigued to see how it pans out for some of these dudes.
Oh yeah. Like we're just hoping that they get a chance to shine instead of being on the bench or just being wasteful. Like I would like to see Garando get some snaps because I know he's got speed that could just translate in different ways. I mean, Jordan James, what's the point of drafting this kid if you're just going to have him on the bench all year? I mean, he was a good running back coming out of Oregon.
Yep.
I mean, secondary wise, I think Ronaldo Green has been proven to be good in man coverage. I don't think zone is something he's been excelled because if you watch his tape at Florida State, what have they been known for? The run man coverage.
Mm.
And we got to get somebody a little different in a different scheme. Like the kid, I think Washington runs like a zone concept, if I'm mistaken. They got two of the lengthy cornerbacks out there. They're like, yeah. And then they got this kid from Arizona, I think runs a basic system, what they do in coverage, but he's a big size corner that would fit too.
Yeah. Do you worry at all about the drama potentially between him and Kyle on the sidelines? Is that nothing, or is that?
Well, you're talking about the sidelines with Ronaldo Green and Kyle. I think it's just more about the effort. Maybe that's what Kyle was upset about. Maybe that's what it was because he took a play off, right? If I'm mistaken.
I don't remember what it was, to be honest, but I remember Kyle laying into him pretty good, and I remember thinking, I wonder if he's going to be back next year, or if he maybe gets packaged in some sort of a deal. I'm sure he was on a lot of teams' draft boards. I'm sure there was a lot of teams that liked him coming out of the draft, and maybe the Niners trade him for a third, or I don't know if they could still get a second for him, but maybe we see him in a draft day trade. Yeah.
But then
wouldn't shock me.
It would be kind of crazy to just get 5 4th-round picks. God damn. I would use some of those 4th-round picks maybe to move up for a 3rd round, like late 3rd round pick maybe. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. So
yeah,
let's do something that you would do since John Lynch. You're going to be John Lynch for the day, and you get a chance to choose who you want, man, because it's the draft and we got to keep content rolling, man, like they say. So I'm going to add this up, but I'm going to mostly try to go into the simulator stuff.
Cool.
And what we're going to do is go with what Tony would do going into the draft. So we got 4th-round picks right here.
Okay.
So you got all these 4 picks right here because we don't have a 5th or 6th or 7th round. So you're going to have to make everything count, man. You're going to be John Lynch for the day. So
I like
whatever
it.
you see available, we're going to start.
So I don't see anything up on my screen now. I just see you and me.
The options that's available, and you. Oh wait, hold up. Let me see if it's on first.
Cool.
Wait a minute, man. I thought I put it on. Hold on.
All good.
I thought it was on. Man, my web is kind of slow on it. Hold on a second.
Yeah, your face is frozen for me. Oh, you're moving now. There we go. I just see you and I still.
Wait a minute. Didn't go on? Thought it went on. Let me see.
There we go. Now something's cranking. It's loading. There we go. Okay, I see the screen now.
Slow web, but okay. We'll see what's available. Okay, so we'll go by your option and you tell me what you feel. Why is it slow? Wait, do you see anything or no?
I see teams and I see the little option to choose the round. I don't see any players though.
Oh, okay.
I see you scrolling. I see you scrolling.
Enter. Okay, I'm gonna push enter right now.
Cool.
Okay, it's getting there.
All right, I see players now.
My bad, it's just this thing.
There we go.
Okay. Web is kind of backing up in the reception where I'm at. Didn't have issues I didn't have issues the other day, so
all good. All right, so this is just like an auto draft sort of thing that we're going through it. I like this. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, but you get a chance to choose the option. I'm not gonna do nothing. You're gonna be John Lynch for the day.
So the guys on the right are the best available, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
yep.
Sweet. All right. I see some offensive linemen are going.
Yeah. Oh man, that guy's gone. Damn.
Doesn't that tend to happen every year, by the way, where like there just tends to be this run on offensive linemen, and then there's just
Yeah,
scraps
because
left that
it's
go
an
so early.
underrated position.
Yep.
Ooh, let's see. Oh, this is
All
where
right.
you have to like
So I
choose
got
something
I
new.
got
Okay, so
I got Sadiq. Oh, we got a trade offer. I wasn't expecting this.
okay, what do you want to look? So we
Oh,
got Baltimore. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Would you prefer that?
I'm going back
Mm,
18 spots. I need my draft chart to know how good
But
of a deal this is. Generally speaking, I see Concepcion up there. I think that's my guy. I think that's my guy. I will
okay,
say this: I haven't watched a ton of college football last season, but the highlights that I've seen, what I've read about this guy, I feel like if he's available at 27, I'd love to see him take him.
okay. So Concepcion will be your pick. All right,
Let's do it.
let's do it, man. Get you a game changer, a guy that can return kicks and probably be useful in the offense.
Good point. Because who's their kick returner right now? Trent
Junior Bergen.
Taylor, Junior Bergen.
I don't think Trent Taylor's on the roster no more. I think he's a free agent now.
Is okay, yeah. Maybe you bring him back, as they tend to do.
I hope
Uh,
not.
yeah. Uh,
He's
yeah,
too much on that
Concepcion would
click
fit
stuff,
2
and
needs.
he's not even healthy no more.
Yeah. All right, so this is an important pick coming up here, round 2, because we've got no
Yeah,
3rd round pick. So we gotta nail
yeah,
this one.
and then the fourth round, you got those other last four picks to make them count.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm
let's
keeping an
see
eye
how
on
it
these
plays
names
out, man.
here.
Because you're going to be John Lynch, and maybe John Lynch might need to have a brain like you.
All right, pressure's
Yeah,
on, man. This is gonna be a big one coming up here. 58's coming up, 7 more picks.
7 more
I
picks, man. But
see.
I mean, I don't think we're going to do a lot of trades unless we choose to trade down. But
Right now, I'm hoping that guard from Oregon is still. Oh, he just went as soon as I
oh,
said it. That doesn't
he
that always
wanted
happen when you're
to.
watching the draft? By the way. Oh
Yeah,
man.
and you think they're going to be available, and then they slide, and then they just keep
Yep.
going, right? They keep getting. You're hoping for 1 second, maybe they slide to a couple spots, and you get them.
Yep. Happens every
I remember
time. As
that
soon as
one
you think about a
draft when I
guy,
was
he gets
hoping for.
taken. All right, so we're on the clock now.
Okay, yeah. You got Chris Johnson, Lee Hunter, which I'm surprised is available. You got AJ Hulsey, the safety from LSU. You got Jermiah Bernard from Alabama. You got this tackle from Texas A&M, which he's Demetrius Cronover. You got Mike Washington from Arkansas, the running back. You got Julian Neal. And you got different options to consider. You can either trade down if you choose to, but these are the selective options. You got Grayson Holton. You got Ted Hirsch. You got Emmett Johnson. You got Hosea Trotter, Will Lee,
So
Kamari
I'm
Ramsey.
wondering, can that offensive tackle from A&M, can he play guard? That's what I want to know.
I don't think I don't think so. I think he's mostly been playing tackle because I've tried to look at a lot of his tape and he's been mostly a tackle. He's too big to play
Okay.
guard.
Okay, that makes me not want to select him here then. I definitely don't want the running back. I think I'm going to take AJ from LSU.
Ooh,
I
the
think that's the
safety.
move.
Okay.
I think that's the
All
move.
right. All right. Let's
We're going to
go.
have some
AJ
serious
Hulsey
competition
from
with some
LSU.
young guys in that secondary now. And now that I've got him
All right. Let's.
for the rest of this draft, I don't have to worry about the secondary. I feel good about my secondary now that we've got him in place.
Okay.
Now it's going to be a long.
Then we're gonna go with your fourth round. Yeah. Hey, you're the one that makes the calls, man. I just help you on that one.
I love it.
Hey,
All
you so
right.
far you're on a good start, man.
I
A game
am, but
changer,
you
a
know what
guy who
I'm
can
doing
return.
though? You know what I'm doing, CG? I'm falling
What are you
into
trying?
that trap of disregarding the offensive line. We started this show talking about how
Ah,
the Niners disregard the offensive line, and we're doing it. We're doing it right now. I'm doing it. I blame
that's what
me.
they're doing. That's what they
I
usually
know.
do. You're
So
not
I'll tell you what,
alone. They do this too.
I might draft 2 offensive linemen in the 4th round. You might see me do that.
Well, let's see how it plays out first, man.
Let's
We
see it.
just gotta
Let's see
wait and
it.
see.
Yep.
I, I mean, dude, you can go either option, man. I mean, there's gonna be some offensive line you can get right now. So if you want to get two, we can double that. No problem.
I'm interested in we got to take an offensive lineman in this draft, but best player available
Yeah,
at this point now in the 4th round isn't a terrible idea either.
Plus, you want to develop them anyways. I don't think you're going to have a guy take over Trent right away. So,
yeah,
at least get somebody you can cream for next year or two.
Remind me, who was that tight end that you liked?
Ooh, you're talking about Josh Cuevas, man. That man.
Yes, from Bama. Okay, I got to keep an eye on him and see where he's at.
Yeah, you got to
okay,
watch.
We're
some
entering
of his
our round.
Tape.
These picks are late in this round. I see. Okay.
Isaiah Worrell is probably going to be a flyer. If he were available, maybe you take a flyer to develop him. I don't think he's going to play a full year. He's coming off a serious injury.
Okay. Let me look at let me look at these. Are you able to scroll under 105 and see what other tight ends are available? I'm curious if Cuevas.
I'll try to see if I can.
I'm curious if Cuevas is the next.
Yeah, you want me to look at tight ends?
Yeah.
I'll look at the tight ends. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, we got. What is going on with this? Okay, now it's pushing.
Sweet.
Okay, let's push tight end like you said. You want to see where Cuevas to me doesn't get enough recognition. I think he should be a little higher than what people say, but Joel Royer is pretty nice. You got the kid from Houston, you got Jack, and the kid from Stanford, and then Cuevas is just not far off from Sam. I think he's going to be quite a good draftable prospect, but I kind of just don't understand how the draft boards put these players like where they're at. But okay, you're on the clock, man.
All right, I think we can get Cuevas later in the 4th round, so I'm gonna say no on a tight end right now. Let me see the best player. There we go. What do we know about this Austin Barber kid from Florida? Can he play inside? Can he play guard for me? Do we know?
Oh, dude. Yeah, he could. And the Niners actually met with him. So they if you want to look at what he's not like quite a big offensive lineman, but he can be a guy that can swing into.
But that's what the Niners like. They like those guys that can fit into their zone blocking scheme that aren't necessarily maulers. That got a little more finesse. So yeah, let's see what we can learn about this guy before we draft him.
He's about 6'5". I think he's
6'5".
6'5". It's what it said, right?
Wow, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it's kind of
that's a tall dude.
Okay, 6'6". Okay, he's about solid. Yeah, I think that's.
Is he gonna be a little too tall to play guard?
315. Nah, actually, 6'6" is about like a solid size. I've seen some guards at 6'6" before. Remember, Alex Boone was the biggest guard, right? He was like 6'7".
That dude was a monster. Yeah. So let's go ahead and take this dude, Austin Barber. You are the latest San Francisco 49er. Congratulations.
All right, Barber, man. We got the barbershop kicking in.
Let's go. Now I feel much better about the offensive line. Some serious competition on the interior of the offensive line going to be happening amongst these dudes. We're going to have a deep offensive line for sure. So I'm feeling nice about that. We got 3 picks left here.
Do you want to get defense before you get other spots or no?
Oh, we got a trade offer here.
We'll disregard the trade spots, man. We'll disregard.
Yeah. Yep. I generally don't mind the idea of trading back and getting more picks in this draft, but let's see here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead.
We already got a safety.
Yeah, I think this is where we take your tight end. Your tight end from Bama.
He should be available still, but okay. If you want to take the Cuevas kid, man,
let's do it.
Guess, man, but I think you can get him at the last pick. All right, you got to have him, I guess.
Let's do it. I got to have him.
You got to watch some.
You
of his
sold
tape,
me on
man.
him.
You know what? You got to have him.
George is potentially gonna miss time to start the season.
Of the recognition. This guy is set.
We might need a little help early in the season at tight ends. So
yeah, and he's quite a good blocker too, and he makes catches, and he could break tackles.
Nice.
Like you got to watch some of his tape, man, and you'll see where I'm coming from.
Hell yeah.
Okay, now you're on the clock. You want to go offensive line again?
Let me see. Best available.
Okay, best available. All right, got you.
Let's see what offensive linemen are in there. That is intriguing to me. I wouldn't mind a corner though. I wouldn't mind a corner at this point.
Oh, this guy's a big nifty corner right here. This guy's a lengthy corner from Florida.
Which one? Which Devin? There's two. Oh, the dude from Florida. Okay. Yeah,
No,
we
one is from Florida. The other one.
we're in a division with Jackson Smith and Jigba, Puka Nakua, Marvin Harrison Jr. If maybe he ascends. I think we need to take a
Or this
cornerback
kid right
here.
here too. You want to take
Let's
a cornerback?
let's take Devin from Florida so we can address this cornerback position.
All right.
Devin Moore. Congratulations.
Devin Moore. Well, I think he's about a 6'2" or 3 corner, but got solid tape.
Nice.
Like what?
So I think we got one pick left after Devin Moore.
Yep, we do. But wait. I thought.
Back to back, baby. Okay.
Ooh, yeah, back to back.
All right. Now I got to have an offensive lineman here. Nah, forget that trade.
Okay, offensive lineman.
Jaden Roberts.
Forget that trade because we need Jaden Roberts. You want a guard, but let's look at the opening positions. Let's see, because you want to look at. Oh, there's a guy with your same last name. Farmer.
Look at that.
Get that guy.
Jalen Farmer.
Let me give you
my long lost family member.
Let me give you. Yeah, let me give you some ideas of names that I like.
Yeah,
Jaden Robert is good in Alabama. Jaden, he's good, but Farmer seems intriguing. Cooper is a little bit overweight for the position for what we run. This is one of my favorite offensive linemen, Fernando Carmona Jr. Feisty, nasty guard. Played even tackle too, but if you want Jaden Roberts, comes from a good program, then be the guest, or you want to get your lost cousin, be my guest.
So Cooper, you said Fernando Carmona was the nasty guy?
He plays nasty at the position. Okay. Like, you got to watch how he finished plays, dude. He's just a grinder. But if you want to go with the kid from Alabama, or you want to go with your lost cousin, Jalen Farmer.
So let's take Carmona. Let's take Carmona. I'm going to trust your word on that. I haven't seen tape on this guy. But what I would probably do if I was John Lynch in this situation, I'd probably trade back and plan on getting that guy a little bit later because he's probably not going to go in the next few picks, But for the purposes of this exercise, let's go ahead and take Carmona here.
I just like his tape a little more. I think he's already starting to move draft boards a little bit. But
you sold me.
Seems like, oh, dude, offensive line's already going to be nice.
We got a little Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch going on right now because this is a little bit. It's my draft, but it's a little bit of a team effort. I'm definitely taking what you're saying into consideration. Okay. Look at that. That's a nice looking board. I like it.
Yeah, you might need to screenshot it for yourself.
Oh yeah, I'm going to. Here we go.
Yeah, man. It's on you, man.
I like
You're
it.
the GM. I'm not doing.
I like it.
I think that's how they would approach, actually. They might reach for certain talent players that you'd be surprised.
Yeah, well, they tend. I mean, Ricky Pearsall. Nobody really saw the Niners taking him with that pick. They've done that many times. The kicker and punter picks with Wisnowski and Moody, they are not afraid to reach.
Yeah, but I think for the offensive line, Barber would probably be the guy that can eventually replace Trent Williams. But then Carmona can either be the guy that can play guard, or I've heard he can even move to center.
I love it. Oh, I love that flexibility. Okay.
Oh,
yeah, our offensive line is short up.
Yeah, he played tackle coming out of San Jose State, Carmona, before he transferred to Arkansas. Played a lot. I think he played in 2024 a little bit at tackle. Then he was moving to guard, but he played really well.
Nice. Yeah, they have this draft that we got in front of us. I feel a lot better about some of the Niners holes. I really do.
Oh yeah. Casey Concepcion would be your consolation prize. You get a guy who can stretch the field for us. He can give us some return ability. AJ Holsey, it seems like we need that safety. We need that guy that can just set the tone or make plays in coverage as a single high safety. I can see why you want this guy. Usually LSU produced pretty good safeties over the years.
Yep, absolutely. And I like it, man. It gives the roster some flexibility, gives the roster some depth, plugs some holes. I like it. Get that kick returner as well. Yeah.
Give it like some – yeah, because then you look at Austin Barber. That gives you flexibility for the future for Trent Williams when he retires.
Yep.
Josh Cuevas gives you stability for George Kittle. Don't have to rush him. Have him and Jake Tung be involved with the offense. But what I like about Josh Cuevas is he's quite a physical guy. He's hard to tackle. He's quite a good blocker. I just think he's got good hands. No lie. Like I
And
don't
he's
know
going to be
why
able
he's
to
not even
block for
mentioned.
me too at the end of this line. Picture a two
Yeah,
tight
he
end
could be the
set.
extra. Yeah. Then you got
Yep.
Devin Moore, who's quite a lengthy cornerback from Florida. I've heard a lot about his tape. He seems like a good fit to what we run a little bit. And then
Nice.
you got one of my favorite offensive linemen that I feel like could be a starter right off the bat. But depending on how the competition plays, this guy has a feisty nastiness at the position. So he finishes through the whistle.
I
So
love it, dude.
if it becomes a penalty, that's because he's too aggressive, man. But that's just how you play the game.
Absolutely. And they need more guys like that. I just posted on Twitter a little while ago about Jeremy Newberry, another nasty guy the Niners used to have at the center position. I would like to see them inject a little nastiness into this offensive line for sure.
Oh, dude, Carmona can be developed nicely if they don't see him as a guard. They can put him at center because I looked at a couple articles where they say he can possibly even be a center if they at the next level because of his nastiness, the way he moves. But he's been versatile.
If Carmona took over for Jake Brendel, I know there'd be a lot of happy people on Twitter about that. That's for sure.
Oh, dude, we'd be so
And
happy, but then this guy would be overly aggressive and maybe cost us a penalty. But he's a good guy.
yeah. And I'll tell you what, Brendel's getting up there in age, man. I looked his age up the other day. I think it was 35 or maybe even 36. I was like, man, I didn't realize he was that old.
Oh
So
man, I'm older than Brendel.
yeah, right. He's getting there.
I mean, I'm
You
like
got to
2
start
years
thinking
older
about
than that
replacing
guy,
him,
but
whether you like him or not. Yeah,
yeah, for sure. But I
good
guess
stuff.
we
But I like it,
covered
man. I
all
like
that
that
mock
draft.
draft part.
I like
Yeah,
that. That was
maybe
fun,
when I
dude. That's
do
a
your
fun little
show,
tool.
it's a fun
Hell
tool. At
yeah.
least if I'm helpful with you in a lot of ways. But
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
you
for
probably need
sure.
to do more on checking their tapes a little bit, and you can give me your honest review if I'm spot on with
Yeah,
this
man.
guy.
Like I said, so I grew up in Connecticut, and there's not really like UConn isn't a football school. It's obviously more of a basketball school. And then I went to Ball State. It's a MAC school, so I don't really, I don't have that love for college football that a lot of people do. And then as I've like
Different.
gotten into adulthood, football Sundays for me have become like an all weekend thing. Like I'm preparing Saturday for my football Sundays, whether it be sports betting wise or these contests that I mentioned earlier. So I don't watch quite as much college football as the average Joe out there. That's for sure.
No, I mean you can watch here and there, but you can always look at the players who are declaring. You can always do your due diligence. Not everybody tends to watch college football all the time. They can always watch those short clips and get an idea who they are.
Indeed. I love watching highlights. I feel like sometimes I get misled, man. Like Dante Pettis highlights, I was jacked up and excited for that dude. And everybody looks good on a highlight reel. And I don't feel like I have a good enough eye personally to like watch some tape and be like, oh yeah, like as much as I give John and Kyle crap for not being very good at identifying talent, I don't think that's my skill set either. But I don't get paid to do that, and they do. So I'm gonna talk shit.
Yeah, it's okay to be honest, but I guess we cover that draft part. Like realistically, if this was the draft, I think this would be a pretty good contributed grade the way we put it into it. Like, you get guys that will be the future. You get guys who would definitely help this team down the stretch. And I mean, in the Senior Bowl, Josh Cuevas actually made a spectacular block where it's like, God damn, that man makes me feel pumped about him. And then you see a little bit of Carmona's blocking here and there. There's a
Yeah.
couple of clips at the Senior Bowl where he actually pancaked the defender and he actually was able to keep him in check. And then there was a couple, maybe he might have got beat here and there, but he was mostly on
Mm.
point. And then you see Josh Cuevas making some nice, he's quite a good blocker, which I don't think nobody gives him enough credit for.
Hey, and he hasn't spent time with George yet. So what's George's little tight end camp called? Tight end university or whatever.
Right at
Let's get
university.
Cuevas into tight end university and see what that does for him too, you know?
Yeah, you might have to check the Senior Bowl clip where he's blocking. He left an open lane.
Nice, nice, nice. I'll check it out for sure. Good stuff.
Yeah, for
Good
sure.
stuff.
And for everybody else, man, tell them where they can find your social media platform, and maybe down the road we'll definitely figure out something, man.
Yeah, for sure. So at Tony's Market Tips on Twitter, Tony Talks 49ers on YouTube. Again, that channel was just launched. And please do check out at Bosa Was Held on Twitter because that's another fast growing community that's a lot of fun as well.
So that's your troll account. Okay.
That's essentially, yeah, that's my talk shit to Kansas City Chiefs fan account, because there's a lot of that going on. The Chiefs fans' main reactions are, that was so long ago. You got to get over it, man. Some of them have come out and said that the actual clips that I took from the game, like from YouTube clips of the game, are AI. They're like, "Oh, that's not even, look at the way his uniform is. This is a fake clip." Like, some
Oh
of their
Lord,
reactions are hysterical, so it's fun to troll them for sure.
you get the best out of them with that.
Absolutely, absolutely, it's fun.
Oh, for sure. And for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. But hey, man, Tony, we had a blast, bro. We'll
That was fun.
maybe down the road we'll figure out a flexible schedule that works for you down the road.
For sure, man. That was good stuff. Appreciate you having me on.
And for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in, man. But hey, me and the farmers market is out.